The 10 unbelievable and terrifying mysteries on Mars that shock humanity. Dear friends, when it comes to Mars, many people immediately imagine a blazing red planet burning like fire. However, the truth is completely the opposite. Mars is not a planet of scorching flames. Modern science confirms that billions of years ago, this planet once had vast oceans and winding rivers, much like our Earth. What's even more remarkable is that today, beneath layers of frozen ice and red dust, water may still be sealed in many regions on Mars, opening a hopeful prospect for the possibility of life, or at least a precious source of water for future human expeditions. But is that all? There might be an even more mysterious story, as many hypotheses suggest that long ago, a hidden civilization may have existed on the red planet, one that we have never discovered. So, what is Mars really hiding? Archaeological remains, scientific evidence, and decades of research are gradually unveiling the secrets of this planet, taking us on an extraordinary and surprising journey of discovery. In today's video, join me as we step into the world of archaeology and science to decode the never-before-revealed mysteries of Mars, the red planet, the planet of the unknown. And without keeping you waiting any longer, let's dive right in and explore. The mysterious door on Mars. A seemingly simple image has stirred the global community of scientists and space enthusiasts. A photo of a structure that looks exactly like a door, taken by NASA's Curiosity rover on the surface of Mars on May 7th. Without any caption or explanation, NASA let the photo tell its own story. And immediately, that story became the center of thrilling hypotheses and much debate. Could this be evidence of an extraterrestrial civilization that once existed on the red planet? Or is it just a clever trick of nature? The image spread rapidly on social media, making many people associate it with a secret entrance, a gateway to an unknown world. Some internet users called it the alien door, while independent researchers took a more cautious stance, suggesting it might simply be the result of a natural geological phenomenon. After a series of speculations, the Curiosity team, the operators running the rover on Mars, officially spoke out. According to the report by Space Magazine, NASA scientists confirmed that the mysterious door is actually a natural open fracture in the rock. They even humorously nicknamed it the dog door, because its real size is only about 12 inches tall and 16 inches wide, far too small for any human-sized creature to pass through. The Curiosity team explained that the area where the door was discovered is part of a mound featuring many linear fractures. At the photo site, several cracks intersected in a way that caused the rock to break at special angles, creating a shape that looks exactly like a man-made doorway. This type of fracture is well known in the scientific community. It has been observed in bedrock in many places on Earth. Interestingly, it also frequently occurs on the surface of Mars, where the terrain is dry and tectonic activity was intense in the past. However, even though the possibility of it being an artificial structure or alien artifact has been ruled out, the mysterious door still holds immense scientific value. According to researchers, it is an entrance to the ancient past, a crucial point helping us explore the geological history of the red planet. Inside the broken rock layers, traces of ancient climate and geological activity from billions of years ago may still be preserved, and that is exactly what Curiosity and NASA's scientific team are continuing to investigate. This opens a new chapter in the exploration of Mars, not only to search for life or lost civilizations, but also to unveil the history of formation and transformation of a planet that once had oceans, rivers, and possibly supported some form of life. Every rock, every crack, every strange shape on Mars carries a story, maybe about the time when water once flowed here, or about earthquakes that shattered the ground, or sometimes an even more mysterious tale. And it is precisely this element of surprise, wonder, and the challenge of distinguishing between what is natural and what is artificial that makes the exploration of Mars a fascinating scientific adventure. From a door that seemed like a meaningless crack in a rock, we can find clues leading to new understandings of a mysterious planet where every discovery can change the way we view the universe and humanity itself. In the coming time, Curiosity will continue its mission, venturing deeper into the area with the door, conducting detailed analyses of mineral components, stratigraphic structures, and any signs indicating that living conditions once existed on this planet. Because who knows, among those silent rocks may lie the whispers of the past, A past that could not only change our understanding of Mars, but also our perception of humanity's place in this vast cosmos. The strange spoon-shaped object. Amid the desolate landscape of the red planet, where the sky is hazy and the ground is covered with red dust, a small but unusual object has sparked a heated debate among scientists and enthusiasts of extraterrestrial life theories. A recent photo taken by a NASA satellite has sent ripples through the research community after revealing an object shaped exactly like a spoon, lying alone in the barren terrain of Mars. This is not the first time a familiar-shaped object has been recorded on this planet. It is actually the second spoon-shaped object discovered in recent years. And like before, it's not just a sensational tidbit, it fuels a question that has quietly burned for decades. Did Mars once host life, or even an advanced civilization? The image of the Mars spoon was released in a video posted by Team Secure on YouTube, attracting over 150,000 views in a short time. Although this video is not an official scientific document, it touches on something that humans cannot stop being curious about: the hope that we are not alone in the universe. Researchers who closely monitor suspicious signs on Mars's surface claim that this spoon-shaped object is new evidence strengthening the hypothesis that Mars once harbored life and possibly intelligent extraterrestrial residents. Strange objects with familiar shapes are not uncommon in NASA's vast image database from the Martian surface. Previously, observers have spotted images resembling a ring, a glove, even a woman's statue, or a carved stone door. With every released image, the community splits into two clear camps. One believes these are proofs of Mars's complex and lively past, while the other insists these are just pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon causing people to see familiar shapes in random objects, like spotting a rabbit in the clouds. However, this spoon-shaped object stands out due to its sharpness and close resemblance to a real spoon. Some semi-professional photo analysts pointed out that the object has a long, slender handle and a flat, slightly curved head, almost a perfect match to an everyday rice spoon on Earth. What created such a shape? If it's just a rock, why does it have such symmetry and characteristic curves? And if it's a fragment of a spacecraft, which mission could it belong to? One social media user posed a chilling question: if what we found is made of metal or wood, materials that cannot naturally form on Mars, then it means someone was here. One hypothesis suggests it could be the remnants of an ancient alien civilization or even leftover debris from a lost space mission in unknown history. However, many experts remain skeptical. According to them, optical illusions caused by complex lighting and camera angles on the Martian surface might be deceiving human vision. The spoon-shaped object could very well be just a rock with a special shape, formed through wind erosion and extreme temperature variations. On a dry planet with physical conditions vastly different from Earth's, strange shapes can easily form without any organic intervention. Interestingly, since this spoon is not the first appearance but the second in recent image data, the story becomes even harder to dismiss completely. Is this a series of coincidences, or are these scattered pieces part of a larger picture of Mars' past than we imagined? The scientific community has yet to find a definitive answer, but one thing is clear: Mars increasingly shows itself to be more than just a dead planet. Meanwhile, missions like Perseverance and the upcoming Mars sample return continue to gather data, samples, and images from the red planet's surface. Future discoveries may clearly separate what is natural illusion from civilization relic. But until then, the spoon on Mars, simple, familiar, yet mysterious, will continue to symbolize humanity's relentless search for its place in this vast universe. The giant and mysterious tree stump. On the journey to explore extraterrestrial mysteries, there are moments that even the most seasoned scientists pause in astonishment, and one such moment came with the release of a strange photo from the red planet. Taken by the Trace Gas Orbiter (TGO) spacecraft, part of the ExoMars mission operated by the European Space Agency (ESA), the image sent shockwaves through the scientific community and space enthusiasts alike. The photo prominently features a colossal structure resembling an ancient petrified tree stump, with concentric rings that look strikingly similar to the growth rings of trees on Earth. It almost feels like we're looking at the remains of a prehistoric forest that once thrived on Mars, raising a slew of questions. Could plant life have existed on this planet? Was there an ancient biosphere buried by time? However, as science sheds light, the truth is both surprising and fascinating. It's not a giant fossilized tree stump, but rather an ice-rich crater, a unique natural relic that records Mars' climate history over billions of years. According to the official ESA statement, this unusual structure is an ancient crater filled with sediment layers rich in water ice, evidence that the red planet once possessed a significant amount of water in its past. What's particularly interesting is that the ring patterns, which resemble wood grain, do not represent the crater's age as tree rings do on Earth. Instead, they are the result of cycles of climate change, seasonal variations, and especially long-term shifts in the planet's axial tilt. On Earth, our planet's axial tilt causes the 4 seasons and remains relatively stable. Mars, however, has a history of dramatic axial tilt variations, leading to extreme and markedly different climate cycles. These shifts in axial tilt allowed water ice to accumulate and settle at lower latitudes, regions that today are completely dry and frigid. Researchers believe the ice sediments formed and built up in this crater very early in Mars's history, possibly billions of years ago. Seasonal changes and cyclical temperature fluctuations caused the ice and materials within the crater to expand and contract repeatedly, producing characteristic cracks and concentric rings. This is not just a record of physical processes, but an invaluable ancient weather archive that lets scientists study past environmental conditions on Mars. This strange crater is one of countless research targets the TGO spacecraft has been investigating since 2016 as part of the ExoMars mission. Beyond capturing high-resolution surface images, TGO analyzes atmospheric composition, geological structure, surface topography, and the planet's climate history, all aimed at answering a pivotal question: did Mars ever, or does it still, harbor life? Though the giant tree stump is merely a visual illusion formed by an ice-filled crater, it opens a gateway to exploring a planet that was once very different, a Mars that may have had flowing water, volatile climates, and conditions more favorable for life. What's astonishing is that images like this continue to stream back to Earth thanks to ongoing missions, allowing humanity to gradually piece together the forgotten history of the red planet. From what appears to be a lifeless rock formation, science uncovers traces of time, of the past, and perhaps the first clues to answering the age-old question of extraterrestrial life. In the realm of space exploration, sometimes what amazes us is not the supernatural, but the incredible ability of nature to record its own memory, in the strangest, most beautiful, and most challenging ways to human intellect. The Alien Archway structure. Over more than 8 years of roaming through valleys, craters, and plateaus on the red planet, NASA's Curiosity rover has not only brought back vital scientific data, but also captured images that have stunned the world, raising questions far beyond the boundaries of traditional physics and geology. This time, it's a photo of a strange structure that looks exactly like an archway, standing amidst the barren and silent landscape of Mars. Though only about 18 inches tall, this structure quickly became the focus of wild theories and scientific speculation. Could it be the remnant of an alien civilization that once existed on the red planet? At first glance, this archway looks like an ordinary rock, weathered by wind and time. However, to believers in extraterrestrial life, especially Scott C. Waring, a well-known UFO hunter, this is no mere rock, but part of an ancient architectural structure buried under layers of dust and sand. Based on his analysis of the photo taken by Curiosity, Waring points out that the archway is perfectly symmetrical, with a smoothly curved roof, something he claims is too perfect to be a random product of nature. Moreover, he notes several other angular rocks nearby that he believes might be fragments of a larger structure that collapsed or was buried over time. However, NASA scientists and the international scientific community take a more cautious and realistic stance. They assert that such unusual formations are the result of physical weathering, that is, the breaking down and alteration of rocks caused by wind, dust, temperature fluctuations, and radiation on Mars over millions of years. The thin atmosphere and harsh environment on the planet make rocks prone to cracking and erosion into strange shapes, sometimes resembling artificial structures found on Earth. The human tendency to see familiar shapes like arches, human heads, or even animals in natural rock formations is a psychological phenomenon called pareidolia, where the brain interprets random patterns as recognizable images. Still, images like the archway on Mars carry significant value. not only for geological and planetary history research, but also in how we approach the question of extraterrestrial life. Such controversial images offer science opportunities to revisit, analyze more thoroughly, and sometimes discover completely new insights. Indeed, the area curiosity is exploring, including Gale Crater and ancient plateaus, has shown evidence of past water presence, such as ancient stream beds, sediment layers, and minerals formed only in wet environments. All of this has increasingly convinced scientists that Mars once had conditions favorable for primitive life. For Scott C. Waring, who has attracted attention with numerous claims about aliens, the Archway is just one of many evidences he has publicly shared. Earlier in 2020, he released images he claimed showed the corpse of a humanoid creature buried on Mars's surface. While these claims are not recognized by the scientific community, they continually capture public interest, partly because of Mars's mysteries and partly due to humanity's relentless desire to find extraterrestrial life. Regardless of the truth behind the Archway, whether it's a natural sculptural wonder or a remnant of a long-lost civilization, it plays an important role in humanity's quest to conquer Mars. The alien face. In the vast plains of Chryse Planitia, a broad flat region near where the Viking 1 lander touched down, NASA's Mars Global Surveyor captured a strange image on January 26, 2004. An impact crater resembling the face of an alien creature, complete with two deep eyes and a distinct forehead ridge. NASA named the photo the Chryse Alien Head and explained that the two eye-like depressions likely formed through wind and water erosion, since this area once experienced massive floods from Maja Vallis, and wind erosion has been more common in Mars' recent history. The crater spans roughly 492 feet and is located near latitude 22.5 degrees N, longitude 47.9 degrees W, relatively close to the Viking 1 site, and stands out against the Chryse terrain, which was formed from basaltic lava flows and ancient river sediments. Although more than 20 years have passed since NASA released the image, the Chryse alien face only recently went viral online, sparking heated debate. One of the most vocal proponents is Scott C. Waring, a UFO hunter who believes this formation is not a natural coincidence. He estimates the face measures about 1,050 by 1,312 feet, with matching-sized eyes and a symmetrical forehead. Waring argues that only an alien civilization could have carved such a finely proportioned structure. He even claims NASA deliberately named it the Alien Head to hint at the secret presence of extraterrestrial beings. On the other hand, most scientists and physicists maintain that this is a textbook example of pareidolia, the psychological phenomenon where our brains recognize familiar shapes, like eyes and faces, in random rock formations. Lighting, shadows, camera angles, and physical erosion combine to produce an image that looks remarkably like a face. Some even joke NASA calls it an alien because of the shape, but that doesn't prove aliens exist. From a geological perspective, Chryse Planitia was once an ancient basin eroded by giant floods, accumulating sediments and transporting lava flows. Later, strong winds and temperature fluctuations gradually wore down the weaker rocks, leaving behind sturdy formations like the impact crater we see today. The interplay of sandstorms, cracking, and sunlight created the natural eyes, nose, and mouth we perceive now. Interestingly, the Chryse alien face is not unique. Mars is home to the famous Cydonia face captured by Viking 1 in 1976, along with many rocks that resemble humans, animals, or ancient statues. All examples of pareidolia as our brains search for life in an alien world. Nevertheless, the debate continues. Supporters like Waring insist that such a large symmetrical structure could not have formed naturally and must be evidence of extraterrestrial presence. Meanwhile, mainstream science stresses that if such claims were true, there would need to be much stronger proof, such as signs of artificial construction, verified chemical analyses, or radar data indicating unusual materials. Although the Chryse alien head photo does not prove life beyond Earth, it remains a powerful testament to human imagination and our yearning for discovery. It reminds us that the universe may hold surprising secrets, and that every crater, every rough rock, might be a call to look beyond first impressions. With a series of modern missions like MRO, ExoMars, and the upcoming Perseverance rover bringing samples back to Earth, we are steadily peeling back the mysteries of Mars. And who knows, maybe someday we will uncover undeniable evidence of distant life out there. The giant water treasure on Mars. Amid the blazing red dunes and cracked barren surface that seems devoid of a single drop of water, one of the most important discoveries in the history of Mars research has been recorded. Water, the fundamental element for life, is quietly hiding beneath the surface of the red planet. Specifically, the ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, TGO, part of a joint mission between the European Space Agency, ESA, and Russia, has detected a significant amount of water within the largest canyon system in the solar system, Valles Marineris. Stretching over 2,500 miles long, reaching depths up to 5 miles, and spanning a colossal area of about 15,800 square miles, Valles Marineris is not only a geological wonder of Mars, but also reveals a secret that could completely change our understanding of the planet. Up to 40% of the near-surface material there could be water ice. Unlike previous discoveries that only showed faint signs of water clinging to surface dust, the TGO used neutron scanning technology to peer deep into the soil, where water may be preserved in frozen form or trapped as moisture within minerals. Finding such a massive water treasure near Mars' equator, where temperatures are usually higher and conditions harsher, took the scientific community by surprise. For a long time, researchers believed that if water existed on Mars, it could only be preserved at the cold poles. The presence of water in the planet's mid-latitudes not only opens new avenues for future missions, but also raises the possibility that primitive life once existed, or may still exist, underground. Valles Marineris is a giant tectonic crack formed billions of years ago by powerful forces that tore Mars' crust apart. Over time, erosive agents like wind and possibly ancient flowing water widened the canyon into a vast network of deep chasms so extensive that if it were on Earth, it would stretch from New York to California, more than 10 times the length of the Grand Canyon. Its complex geological structure and great depth make it a perfect place to accumulate and preserve water over long periods, protecting it from evaporation caused by sunlight and solar radiation. The new findings from the TGO carry not only scientific significance, but also enormous potential applications for the future. As space agencies around the world, from NASA to ESA, from China to SpaceX, aim to send humans to Mars within the next few decades, water will be one of the key factors to sustain human life and long-term operations. The underground ice deposits could be harvested to produce drinking water, generate oxygen, or even extract hydrogen for fuel to power return missions to Earth. This means that a permanent base on Mars, once a sci-fi dream, is now closer to reality than ever. But beyond practical needs, water carries an ancient message. Where there is water, there is the potential for life. Scientists believe that in Mars' distant past, the planet had a milder climate, with rivers, lakes, and even oceans, conditions necessary for microbial life to thrive. The discovery of subsurface ice beneath today's dusty cover might be evidence of a once-existent ecosystem or the last refuge of extremely small life forms adapted to harsh conditions. In the future, exploration missions like the Rosalind Franklin rover, also part of the ExoMars program, are planned to drill deep into the soil and sediments to search for chemical traces of past or even present life. If a lander can access the water-rich area in Valles Marineris, it would be a decisive breakthrough. Finding any biosignatures in these ice-rich soil samples would be the most groundbreaking discovery in human history, proving that we are not alone in the universe. From these gigantic cracks stretching thousands of miles, Valles Marineris is no longer just the largest natural wonder in the solar system. It is a gateway to Mars' past, and possibly its future. A planet once thought lifeless and frozen in the cold void now quietly guards its most precious source of life. And as humanity moves ever closer to stepping foot on the red planet, water, which seems so ordinary on Earth, may become the key that unlocks a new era for science, for life, and for the first human colonies beyond Earth. The Strange Stone Book. On April 15th, corresponding to the 3,800th sol of its mission, NASA's Curiosity rover made a surprising discovery that stunned both the scientific community and space enthusiasts alike. The object was so oddly shaped that it sparked fierce debate. It looked exactly like an open book lying amid the desolate, dry terrain. With its perfectly flipped shape and thin pages, gently curved as if turned by the wind, this strange formation seemed to defy conventional explanation and immediately sparked bold theories. Could this be evidence of a civilization that once existed on the Red Planet? However, no matter how far imagination may run, science remains grounded in concrete evidence. According to NASA experts, the book is actually just a rock, not an ordinary one though. It formed from material harder than anything previously recorded in the Gale Crater area, where Curiosity has been diligently exploring since August 2012. The rock's unique structure and durability are the result of billions of years of natural weathering, back when Mars had a wetter climate with flowing water on its surface. These water flows, combined with wind-blown dust and time, eroded the surrounding softer rock, leaving behind harder materials that unintentionally formed the bizarre shape we now call the Mars Book. From a geological perspective, this phenomenon can be fully explained by understanding Mars's climatic history. The planet once had river systems, large lakes, and even ancient oceans. As the climate changed over time, water gradually evaporated, leaving behind valuable sediment layers and minerals underground. Wind erosion, especially after the water disappeared, continued to sculpt the surface, revealing uniquely shaped rocks that our human imagination readily associates with familiar Earth objects. Curiosity has previously documented rocks resembling fingers, dragon heads, and even biological-looking structures, all products of natural weathering processes spanning millions or even billions of years. Yet this discovery attracts special attention not only for its book-like shape, but also for the deep symbolic meaning it evokes. On Earth, books symbolize knowledge, historical record-keeping, language, and communication. While ancient Sumerian civilization, credited with the beginnings of writing and the first human documents, used clay tablets and later paper to store information, peoples around the Mediterranean and Mesopotamia also used wax tablets and parchment before books became a widespread concept. Therefore, a rock shaped like a book on another planet not only sparks scientific curiosity, but also touches a deeply human emotion. If extraterrestrial life once existed, did they also write their own stories? At present, science favors the explanation that this is an interesting geological formation rather than proof of an alien civilization. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, further explains that the relentless strong winds sweeping across Mars have carved these strange shapes from softer rock layers, while only the hardest materials could withstand erosion to survive over time. This stone book may be one of the last natural sculptures remaining from Mars' wetter era. As Curiosity continues its mission in Gale Crater, making discoveries about water, organic chemicals, and radiation, key clues in the search for ancient life. Its successor, the Perseverance rover, is collecting rock and soil samples in Jezero Crater. These samples are expected to be returned to Earth by 2033, offering a chance to directly analyze ancient geology and possibly find biological traces if they exist. Although the book Curiosity Found does not contain ancient knowledge as one might imagine, it opens a new chapter in humanity's story about Mars. It is the story of a planet that once had water, had habitats, and may have hosted life. And who knows? In the not-too-distant future, from seemingly lifeless rocks, humanity might decode a completely new history, not only of Mars, but of this vast universe as well. And if that happens, wouldn't that be amazing? The mysterious signal from Mars. In May 2023, as part of a unique initiative called A Sign in Space, the European Space Agency's ESA ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, TGO, transmitted a signal that resembled one from an extraterrestrial source. This was not a natural signal, but a product of a collaborative project between art and science designed to explore how humanity would react if a real signal arrived from a distant civilization beyond Earth. 3 radio observatories on Earth recorded the raw data of the signal. It was widely released to the public, attracting thousands of citizen scientists. A few days after the signal was preliminarily decoded, the real journey to uncover its true meaning began. After nearly a year of relentless effort, Ken and Kelly Chaffin, a father-daughter duo, became the first to successfully decode the message. They discovered that the message was not written language, but rather an image simulating the structure of 5 amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of proteins, represented as clusters of white pixels against a black background, conveying chemical information about life. Detailed analysis showed that these white clusters contained 1, 6, 7, or 8 pixels, symbolizing hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen atoms. The molecular structure of the 5 amino acids described with professional molecular models. An intriguing detail was that the message was dynamic, not static, displaying moving clusters over roughly 0.1 seconds, suggesting life or cellular formation processes. The A Sign in Space project is a unique collaboration spanning multiple disciplines, including media artist Daniela De Paulus, astronomers, radio engineers, physicists, computer scientists, and poets working alongside ESA, the SETI Institute, Green Bank Observatory, and INAF. The test signal was transmitted by TGO in May 2023, simultaneously received by the 3 observatories, and the online community of over 5,000 people quickly separated the signal within just 10 days, though interpreting its meaning took over a year of dedicated work. Although the message essentially depicts a chemical portrait of 5 amino acids, its deeper meaning remains a mystery. It is a simulation, not an actual signal from extraterrestrials. ESA emphasized that this was a human-made experiment designed to test social and scientific reactions to an intercivilizational message. However, this does not diminish its appeal and research value. It raises the question of whether humans possess the capability to distinguish and decode a completely alien language. Ken Chaffin shared that the decoding process lasted countless days and nights, relying on intuition and mathematical simulations of cellular structures. His daughter Kelly said she was initially drawn to the star map-like shape and sensed the possibility of life encoded in the message. Still, they acknowledged that the message provided no clear information about the sender's intent or attitude, peaceful or threatening, which sparked deep reflection on how we would perceive and respond if we truly received communication from an alien civilization. After the decoding, the A Sign in Space community expanded the discussion globally on Discord, inviting ideas about the message's meaning. It could be a chemical map, a greeting, or a rudimentary knowledge base about cosmic life. The project aims to prepare society and science for the first contact scenario. Though this is only a science art experiment, the signal from Mars awakens a steadfast belief that the universe contains other forms of life and intelligence. It prompts profound questions. Are we smart enough to understand a foreign language? Are humans ready for real cosmic communication? And if it happens, can we respond with full civilization? With every step of decoding, whether short or long, we move closer to the answer, and signals like this will continue to inspire imagination, scientific curiosity, and the aspiration to explore the vast universe beyond our blue planet. Ancient beach on Mars. If you thought only Earth ever had sun-washed beaches, then China's Zhurong rover has just overturned our entire understanding of Mars. In a groundbreaking discovery that electrified the scientific world, Zhurong uncovered geological evidence showing that over 3 billion years ago, Mars hosted a massive ocean with a shoreline, possibly a habitat for early life. The rover's journey began in 2021 when it landed in Utopia Planitia, a vast ancient impact basin in Mars's northern plains, long suspected to be part of an ancient ocean. Tasked with validating that hypothesis, Zhurong used ground-penetrating radar to slice through Mars's characteristic red dust. What it found shocked everyone. Distinct layered sediment deposits eerily similar to beach sediments on Earth's shorelines. What sets these sediment layers apart is their origin. They don't possess the characteristics of river deposits, wind-blown desert dunes, or volcanic lava. Instead, their thickness, structure, and arrangement are consistent with a coastal environment shaped by waves and tides. This discovery opens the door to the Deuteronolis Ocean hypothesis, a vast body of water that once covered much of Mars's northern hemisphere. A study published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences on February 25th thoroughly analyzed Zhurong's data. The international research team concluded that these sedimentary structures provide the strongest evidence yet of a real ancient shoreline on Mars, a place where daily tidal fluctuations and wave action left their mark in the Martian crust. Pennsylvania State University geologist Benjamin Cardenas stated, "We were immediately intrigued by this structure since it could only form if there was once a water-air interface, meaning waves, meaning a sea. If the Deuteronolis Ocean existed, the logical follow-up question is, could life have arisen there? Scientists think it's entirely possible. Much like Earth's primordial oceans, rich in organic compounds and the birthplace of life, the Deuteronomus Ocean might have nurtured ancient Martian microbes. Though this ocean may have dried up over roughly 1 billion years as Mars's atmosphere thinned, that window of time would have been enough for simple life to emerge and evolve. Meanwhile, NASA's Perseverance rover has been busily collecting rock and soil samples at another ancient lakebed, Jezero Crater. These samples are expected to bring direct evidence of ancient life. Though initially planned for return to Earth in 2026 via a joint mission, the timeline has slipped to 2040 due to funding constraints. NASA is now urgently seeking private sector collaborations to accelerate the effort, as the scientific value of these samples would surpass any previous discovery. From sediment layers buried in Utopia Planitia's dry crust to soil samples that may whisper of extraterrestrial life, all signs are converging on this undeniable conclusion. Mars was once not only a watery world, but potentially a world teeming with life. With each new discovery, humanity moves one step closer to answering the greatest question of all time. Are we alone in the universe? The mysterious blue dune. Recently, NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter (MRO) sent back astonishing images of a triangular-shaped, unusually smooth blue dune located near the Liat crater on Mars. This discovery not only captured attention for its bizarre appearance, but also sparked new questions about the planet's geological and chemical processes, prompting scientists to pause and investigate further. This particular dune stands out for its smoothness compared to the surrounding terrain. According to experts, its structure appears significantly different from typical Martian dust or sand formations. What truly sets it apart, however, is its strange blue hue, something never before recorded in any other dune on Mars. According to NASA researchers, the blue color is not due to water or algae as it might be on Earth. Instead, it likely stems from a complex chemical reaction between the minerals in the dune and specific compounds found in the crater's geological layers. However, the exact composition and reaction mechanism remain a mystery, awaiting clarification through further spectroscopic and mineralogical analysis. Martian dunes like this one often originate from deep within volcanic craters, carried to the surface by ancient lava flows. The harsh environment near the Liat crater, with extreme temperature fluctuations and powerful Martian winds, likely played a key role in sculpting the dune's sharp triangular shape and fine texture. Mars's strong winds are known to continuously reshape the surface, eroding and redistributing sand into patterns unlike anything seen on Earth. Alongside this bizarre dune, the images captured by MRO also revealed other fascinating atmospheric and seasonal phenomena on Mars. Despite its thin and dry atmosphere, Mars still experiences seasons and even forms surface frost. Many of the latest photos show patches of frost lingering on the red soil as Martian winter transitions to spring, creating striking white spots across the barren landscape. Interestingly, the frost on Mars is not water ice like on Earth. It is primarily composed of carbon dioxide ice, or dry ice, which forms under extremely low temperatures. As spring and summer arrive, sunlight causes this CO2 ice to sublimate, transforming directly from solid to gas. This unique melting process leaves behind strange patterns, cracks, and channels in the rock and sand, producing terrain features that are unlike anything found on Earth. These signs offer scientists valuable clues into Martian climate and geological processes, and may even hint at past habitability or current potential for life. The combination of the dune's distinctive triangular shape, its rare blue color, and the seasonal behavior of dry ice paints a dynamic portrait of Mars, a world in constant transformation, full of phenomena yet to be understood. Researchers are eager to conduct deeper analyses using spectral imaging and advanced mineral detection tools to determine the dune's composition and origin. Such studies will broaden our understanding of Mars's geological history and atmospheric behavior. MRO's latest findings not only enrich our knowledge of the red planet, but also invigorate future exploration plans, from robotic missions to eventual human landings. Every grain of sand, every patch of ice, serves as a precious clue, helping us unlock the secrets of a planet that may once have supported life or may still offer the right conditions for life to exist. In the ongoing journey to explore our universe, strange phenomena like the blue dune near Liat crater are reminders that Mars still holds countless secrets, awaiting discovery through the power of science and the ingenuity of human curiosity. Mars, the red planet, is filled with countless mysteries and continues to captivate scientists and space enthusiasts alike. Strange formations, unexplained surface markings, and evidence suggesting the past presence of water all led us to ask the age-old question, could Mars have once supported life? While many theories remain unanswered, every new discovery brings us one step closer to understanding one of the greatest enigmas of the universe. What about you? What do you think about this planet? Do you believe life may have once existed there? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our future space discoveries. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.